Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today I'm doing my September TBR. For September, I thought it'd be fun to do something I have never done before, and that is play a TBR game. If you are familiar with Becca and the books, you will be familiar with this game because she, in September, is hosting something called Becca's Bookoplathon, and she made a copy of her game board specifically for the month of September for this readathon that she's doing based on her reading game, and she made a copy of that game board available to anyone who wanted to use it. I thought it'd be fun to do this, mix it up a little bit, and instead of just picking my September TBR books, I will have prompts that I need to fulfill. If you have any questions about the game or the board, you can go watch Becca's video, which I will have linked down below. Okay, this is the board that I printed off. If you want to go see an in-depth overview of every single space on the board, you can go watch Becca's announcement video. She does go through every single space and kind of talk about it. I have my dice and I have a little heart-shaped rock that I think one of my nieces gave me that I'm going to use as a marker. So I'm going to go ahead and start with roll one. Roll one is 3, which is under 300 pages, so a small book. Roll number 1 was a 3, and the prompt I landed on was small book, so something under 300 pages. For this, I picked The Office of Historical Corrections by Danielle Evans. I honestly don't remember a whole lot about this book right now. I know there's a novella and some short stories in it. I believe they're all nonfiction, and I believe they all fall under kind of like a social commentary sort of theme. This is a book I've had on my shelf for a while. It's one that I've been meaning to get to for a very long time, and this book is perfect for the prompt because it is 265 pages long. Okay, and roll number 2 is 8. Which is hyped. Roll number 2 was an 8, and I landed on hyped. So for this prompt, I picked Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This book follows a man who is the last survivor of a desperate last chance mission to save Earth and humanity. That's all I really know about this book. That's all I want to know. I've heard so many good things about it. I honestly don't think I've heard anything negative about it. I'm very excited to read this. This will be my first Andy Weir book that I've ever read, and I'm excited to dive in and get a taste of the author's writing and see what I think. Roll number 3 is 10, and it's doubles, so that means I have to add an extra roll. 10, and that is cute. Roll number 3 was a 10, and it was doubles, which means I will be adding a roll later on. For this prompt, I need to read a book that is either cute in content or in design, so I'm picking Sheets by Brenna, Thummler. This is about a 13-year-old girl who is in charge of her family's laundromat business and her encounter with a ghost that, from what I understand, haunts the laundromat and specifically is trapped inside the sheets that are washed there. So I think this is going to be really cute and fun and perfect for the prompt. Roll number 4 is a 7. Oh, which is pole pick. Roll number 4 was a 7, and I landed on pole pick for this. So I put a poll up on my Instagram, and honestly, things did not turn out like I expected them to. I picked Dune by Herbert and 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard just because they were 2 books that I had close at hand to put up for the poll. And Dune won by a landslide. And maybe I should have expected it, but I didn't. I didn't really see that coming. I honestly also didn't expect as many people to vote as did. I actually told Philo, I was like, you have to go vote on this story because I need at least one person to. and it was the first time I've ever put a poll in my Instagram story, so I really wasn't sure how much interaction it was going to get, but thank you if you voted on that poll for voting and helping me decide to pick Dune. I honestly don't know a whole lot about what this is about. I know that it follows a boy who was specifically designed to be able to do the magic that typically only women in this society can do. This is a book that I've mostly only heard good things about, but I still have heard some negative things about it. And most of the negative things I've heard about it have come from women and have been about the heavy-handed misogyny that is in this book. Now, I cannot say for sure, but having heard those reviews, it makes me a little nervous to read it. But here we are. I'm going to be reading this in September. Roll number 5 is a 6. LGBTQ plus rep. Roll number 5 was a 6 and I landed on LGBTQ plus rep. For this I'm going to be reading The Witch King by H.E. Edgmon. I'm mostly picking this up because of the NB Book Club, which was started by Jessie from Bow Ties and Books. This book club is a book club that focuses on reading books by non-binary authors. The Witch King was the pick for August. I'm not going to be getting to it in August, but I'm trying to read more books by trans and non-binary authors, and that is one of the main reasons I'm picking this up. I honestly don't really know that much about what this is about. This is a book that I'm a little nervous about just because I know it has fae elements, and fae elements are something I typically don't reach for in books. It's never something that has sounded intriguing to me, but I am still excited to read this book, and we'll see. Maybe I actually do like fae elements and I just haven't read any yet. And roll number 6 is 7. Oh, lowest rated. And roll number 6 was my last roll, and it was a 7, and I landed on lowest rated. So for this, I had to go to my Storygraph account because I don't use Goodreads, and one of the things that Storygraph is not quite as good at as Goodreads is that you cannot sort based on ranking. In all other aspects, I honestly prefer Storygraph to Goodreads. I think it's a much more user-friendly service, but this is the one downfall. But I was able to find the lowest rated book on my Storygraph TBR, and that is 27 Hours by Tristina White. This book has been on my list for a very long time, so I'm just going to read you a little bit of the synopsis to kind of give you an idea about what this book is about. It says, Rumor Mora fears 2 things: hellhounds too strong for him to kill, and failure. Jude Welton has 2 dreams: for humans to stop killing monsters and for his strange abilities to vanish. But in no reality should a boy raised to love monsters fall for a boy raised to kill them. Nyx Lorca keeps 2 secrets. The moon speaks to her and she's in love with Dahlia, her best friend. Brendan Tennant wants 2 things: to get out from his mother's shadow and to unlearn Epsilon's darkest secret. They'll both have to commit treason to find the truth. During one 27-hour night, if they can't stop the war between the colonies and the monsters from becoming a war of extinction, the things they wish for will never come true, and the things they fear will be all that's left. So this does sound fairly interesting. The main draw for me is that it's sci-fi and that it's LGBTQ+. The average rating for this is a 2.94, which is very low, and it only has 151 reviews, so it's not a very popular book, and I think I'm going to have a hard time getting my hands on this book, but I will have to find myself a copy somehow. Hopefully I can find one at a library near me. That is everything that's on my September TBR. As always, I hope to be able to read a little bit more than this and maybe get some manga or some poetry or some graphic novels in there as well, but we shall see how the month turns out. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments some of the books you're planning on reading in September. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!